My name is José Bravo. I'm Executive Director of the Just Transition Alliance. I am here in Glasgow, Scotland, and I'm from San Diego, California. I was born in Mexico.
My name is Jonathan Alingu. I am the co-director for Central Florida Jobs for Justice, which is a coalition of labor unions, student groups, faith groups.
My name is Alejandria Lyons, and I am the environmental justice organizer with the Southwest Organizing Project. That is located in Albuquerque, New Mexico, also known as Southern Tiwa Territory.
My name is Ananda. I'm calling from downtown Glasgow in the basement of the hostel we're staying at. I'm with the Just Transition Alliance. I'm the strategy advisor for the Just Transition Alliance, which is a member of the It Takes Roots Alliance and the Climate Justice Alliance. Most of our grassroots movements and movements representing the voices of frontline communities have to take a oppositional stance to COP26 and its frameworks of net zero emissions, its frameworks of carbon capture and storage, and carbon trading and offsets, and the myriad subsidies they're hoping to provide dirty energy. And
this net zero, it's like we know that it's not a real solution, it's a false solution, and it's going to continue to affect our communities because we're the ones that are always, these offsets are always put towards.
In our communities, there's much of the production of carbon emissions and little of the reduction because companies can buy pollution credits. And in fact, pollution goes up.
And all these untested technologies that they're bringing up at COP26, they all are going to be placed in these Black, Brown, Indigenous communities, first and foremost. So the picture looks really grand when you see it on TV, but the result of that, the operation of that will be at the expense of Black people's health, Brown people's health, Indigenous people's health.
What is being negotiated here at COP26 are the makings of another international carbon market and ways in which the industries that are most responsible for causing this crisis, the most carbon intensive, the most polluting industries, providing them loopholes and ways in which they can continue to profiteer off causing harm.
So we've dubbed this COP26 the Conference of the Profiteers, because you see many companies here that are the ones that are posing all these so-called solutions.
And the environmental justice movement, we know, is primarily led by people of color, because people of color were the ones that were in a lot of these communities like Cancer Alley that are historically in areas where they're deemed sacrifice zones or extractive industries. I think it's important that to be here and to hold space in a place like the COP26, because Indigenous voices, Black, Indigenous, people of color voices, period, are completely left out of these. And we're always, like, our communities are always the last at the table.
My mother used to always say that in order to know where we need to go with environmental justice, we need to know the history of where we came from. And the term climate justice was coined about some 20 some odd years ago by members of environmental justice movements. Environmental justice movements were birthed at that time in North America as coming from Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities that were not traditionally involved in the large environmental conservation movement, but had been fighting environmental issues for decades, some would say even millennia, since the advent of settler colonialism.
We brought a lot of labor leaders, particularly in the airline industries, in the oil refinery industries, fast food industries, hospitality industries. We brought some folks that are housekeepers at Disney World, that's based in Orlando. And we've done that because these folks are typically not the ones that are consulted about solutions to climate change.
We had 100,000 people in March that we recently had, I think 2 days ago. There needs to be a stop immediately of fossil fuel extraction.
One of the things we are demanding at this COP is that we seek real solutions, not net zero nonsense. The just transition need to include and center the voices of those most impacted. All just transition strategies to be truly effective, how they are truly centered in deepening democracy and flipping the script and turning to the voices and the knowledge of those peoples who have the longest living relationships with the land anywhere in the world